Ciao Juventini, Alberto here, and I've got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus that has Juventini asking, are we ever going to have a normal season at Juventus again? I'm not so sure, all right, who knows, but one thing's for sure, us as Juventini are battle tested, all right, so we're going to talk about drug tests, more court cases, all right, as we got the latest on Paul Pogba's situation after testing positive on testosterone, and Leonardo Bonucci decides to take Juventus to court in legal action. We've got the details on that. And then in a matchup that can't come quick enough, whenever we're marred with these brutal headlines, brutal news stories, all right, the action can't come soon enough. I just want to get back to talking about what's going on the pitch. We're going to take a look at the hints of the lineup getting ready to face Lazio on the weekend. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. And I will start things off on a positive note. We'll talk about this day in general. This is the anniversary of Alessandro Del Piero's debut appearance with Juventus, coming in as a substitute for Fabrizio Ravanelli. All right, now I had the fortune of watching his entire career. There's nothing left to say about Alessandro Del Piero. However, he is in the news today, and he is in the news today because he has registered himself for the UEFA coaching license. This is the highest level license you can achieve. All right, and who knows, maybe, just maybe, one day the King of Turin returns in a coaching position. All right, now also registering for the same course, Lord Padoin is registered for that same course. All right, so all the best to both of them on that. Now we get to legal issues for Juventus, and that is brought on by Leonardo Bonucci. Leonardo Bonucci has decided to take legal action against Juventus. All right, and he has done so for lack of adequate training and preparation for conditions, okay, for him, and also suffering damage of a professional and image nature, okay? So when we take a look at this, immediately jumping into my mind, and I've always said this, I will stand behind it. If Leonardo Bonucci was entitled to something based on a binding contract, then he is entitled to that. However, when you read that it is lack of adequate training and preparation conditions and whatnot, this seems petty, especially when we're talking about damage suffered of a professional nature and image nature. This just seems petty, all right? Now, it has to be noted that the winnings of this court case, should he get anything, all right, are set up to go to a charity for sick children, hospitalized children in Turin. So that in itself is great, all right? But this whole suit seems very, very petty, all right? And a bad look. But this whole thing has been a bad look for both parties involved, in my personal opinion. But now Leo's taken it to another level. Again, if you're entitled to something through contract, that's great, okay? No problems with it. But this seems petty, especially when you want to talk about damages of a professional nature and whatnot, when you're factoring in simply where you are at in your career. That's just me. You guys know the drill. Let me know what you think about the whole scenario. But nonetheless, this thing will be going to court, all right? At least if Juventus should lose in this court case, it goes to a good cause, all right? Now, we get to Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, this news took the world by storm yesterday. Paul Pogba's always in the news. Always a lot of negative stuff circulating around this guy. Everybody's wondering why always him and whatnot. One way or another, he's always in the mix of it. Juventus is always in the thick of things when it comes to media, headlines, everything, etc. And here we are. Pogba has 3 days from yesterday to initialize the counter analysis. That would take 1 week to run, all right? From there could be some different scenarios that could open up, such as plea deals and whatnot and plea bargains. However, we have to wait. Where is Juve in all this? They're still supporting Paul Pogba. However, they have separated themselves. They have separated themselves from the fact that they have stated it is not anything that's been administered from their staff. All right. So Paul Pogba is dealing with this thing head on. All right. So we have to wait for the outcomes. You would have to think he's going to initialize the counter analysis. Now, as far as what he could be facing, obviously he could be facing 4 years as a maximum ban. That would definitely end his career. If incidental, okay, so say he was taking something that this was totally by accident, that he tested positive for testosterone, he could still face somewhere around 3 to 4 months ban. What Juventus would do in this scenario still could be a termination of the contract. It is being reported that they are furious behind the scenes at what's gone on here with this, and rightfully so. This whole Pogba return has been ridiculous, and I've stated, regardless of the outcome of this, yesterday I stated I am done with returns. I don't care who it is. I don't care what. If it's a player returning, whatnot, a coach returning, I am done. Okay. The only returns I will deal with is if somebody comes back as in an office role of some sort. All right. But returns 2.0s, no, never again. All right. Now, what's going to happen with Paul? Again, we got to wait. It's going to be a little bit of a process here, but there are some fans out there that believe that this is yet again some type of targeted attack from the FIGC, all right? Bringing up scenarios like, why is this all of a sudden a drug test that was administered August 20th coming up now and whatnot? I will tell you this right now. I am as pissed off with the FIGC as everybody else, all right? And I've been very vocal about that. This is not a targeted thing. All right. As far as why it took this long, this is the regular time frame it takes. If you want to go back to João Pedro, if you want to go back to Palomino and whatnot, these other players who tested positive for banned substances, it was literally within a month from the test that they ended up facing the punishments and whatnot, and when the results were breaking out. So the time frame is absolutely spot on. All right. As far as this is just, again, I believe, an accident. I believe he was taking something he had no idea of, and this could be backed up by some of the doctors and what they're reporting, because they're reporting it'd be very strange for someone to try and dope and take testosterone, because it is one of the easiest banned substances to actually find in your system. All right. So again, I totally believe this was an accident. However, as I just reported, this does not make Paul Pogba free and clear if it's an accident. If it is found to be an accident, he's still facing 3 to 4 months. Will Juventus break the contract and terminate the contract on a 3-month ban? I would actually lean more towards yes, to be honest, just because of the whole situation. I truly believe if Juventus gets a reason to break this contract with just cause, that they would do so. All right. Now, I ask the question to all of you, Juventini. Is this how it is going to end for Paul Pogba at Juventus? Is this how it's going to end in general for his career? Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing in the comment section. All right. Now, one thing is for sure, people believing that why on earth would he take tests and whatnot? Well, a lot of pressure, trying to get back in, trying to get fitness-wise again. Testosterone, maybe boosting that to build more muscle to protect the knee and whatnot. Who knows? The possibility is there, but I truly believe it's an accident, and it could be as simple as that, but he still may face brutal consequences. All right, we'll wait to see. Now, Lazio, the match that can't come soon enough given all this nonsense that we are being circulated with, but the early reports suggest that we will see Szczesny in goal. Gatti is expected to start. You are going to have Cambiaso on the right side, and Milik is set to start next to Vlahovic up at the top for now. We know that tomorrow training session for Juventus is going to be the decisive one in seeing where Federico Chiesa stands. But for me, Milik and Vlahovic is not that great a mix, and I would actually prefer going with Keane against Lazio. That's just me. You guys know the drill. Let me know in the comment section. Last, certainly not least, we have Italy and Ukraine set to face off today. Locatelli expected to get the start in that one, so look for him to be in action before returning to Juventus. And Giuntoli will have eyes on Sudakov, apparently a player, okay, the striker from Shakhtar that will be playing for Ukraine. He's had eyes on him since his Napoli days and whatnot. There's a 30 million euro price tag on there. So another player for all of us to watch. And potentially Giuntoli might be doing some scouting as well. That wraps up your news break to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I want to hear your thoughts on everything going on with Pogba, Bonucci, and Juventus. All right. Until tomorrow, fino alla fine. Forza Juve, no matter what.